Hello students, good morning. Welcome back to the classes. As in the last class, we have started with the third chapter, that is fiber to fabrics. In that, we have studied the process of how the fibers is going to convert it into a wool, useful form of the wool. Okay, so where these fibers we get? As we learned in the last classes or in the previous classes, these fibers are the fleeces or the hairs of the sheep body or some animals. As I told you the examples like sheep, goat, yak, camel and some other animals. From these animals, the hairs of those animal bodies are going to removed, and that will be converted into a useful form of the wool, right? So in this conversion of the fibers into a useful form of a wool, it involves mainly 6 steps, right? In that I have as I told that the first one process is called as a shearing. What is that shearing? This means the thin layer of the skin with the hairs of the sheep body that we are going to collect, and that process we call it as a shearing. Means I am repeating once again, the thin layer of the skin with the hairs of the sheep body that we are collected, that we call it as a shearing. And the next process is a scurrying. Scurrying means whatever the hairs we are collected, that going to be thoroughly washed in a tanks. That process we call it as a scurrying. Okay, thoroughly washing process, that is called a scurrying. And the next one is a sorting. Sorting means whatever the materials or the fibers we got, that we are going to sort it with respect to the texture. Okay, means according to some conditions of the fibers, we are going to separate them into different fibers. That process we call it as a sorting. And the next one is a cleaning of the burrs. So what is this burrs? Burrs is nothing but the fluffy fiber that we call it as a burrs, that is going to clean in this process. Sometimes in the sweaters, whatever you wear, it consists of a burrs. Okay, that burrs are called that are same as that of these burrs, and they are going to clean in this process. Okay, of in you can ask the question, in the second step they are, we wash that clean burrs. Here what we in this scurrying we are doing is remove thoroughly washed, because of a removal of almost all of the grease, dust material, whatever present in the fibers, that here washed in the scurrying process. But in the cleaning of the burrs, what we are doing is fluffy fibers, whatever they are separated, they are going to clean here again. That we call it as a cleaning of the burrs. And in the next process is a dyeing. As I told, dyeing is nothing but the adding of colors to the fibers. Okay, that process we call it as a dyeing. And here rolling means whatever the materials are dyed and the cleaned, they are going to be combed and chopped into a straightened fibers or the wools, which is useful form of the wool. From all these 6 steps, we got the fibers into a useful form of the wool. You have studied that in the last class, right? So in the today's class, we are going to start with the silk, how the silkworms are going to be used for the sericulture. And the next concept is silk. As you know, silk is a material which we derive from the animal fibers. The animal fibers is nothing but the silkworm. You have heard that silkworm. From this silkworm only we are going to prepare or we are going to yield the silk material. You may ask to your parents or the elders that which type of the silk or the how many types of silk sarees are there. Okay, I will give you a homework, that is you should collect how many types or what are the types of silk sarees are present nowadays. You are going to collect and send me to my private number in the WhatsApp. Okay, so this is silkworm or the yielding of the silk for Okay, yielding of the silk material from the silkworm, the process is called as a sericulture. That is, obtaining of the silk from the silkworms, the process is called as a sericulture. In this sericulture, the silkworm spins the silk. That is the main product of the silk. Okay, I am going to tell you the process later. Before going to that, how the silk is produced, before that we are going to study the life history or the somewhat explanation or the brief of the silk. So students, what is sericulture? Sericulture is nothing but rearing of the silkworm for the process of obtaining the silk, that is sericulture. This sericulture has going to involve 4 main steps, means it includes some main 4 stages for obtaining the silk fiber. That is, first one is laying of the eggs, that is done by the female silk moths. They are going to lay the egg on a mulberry leaves. Why they choose a mulberry leaves? Because whatever the proteins they are required for the laying of the silk fiber, that going to yield from the mulberry leaves. Hence they choose the mulberry plant for laying of the eggs. Okay, and whatever the process, this sericulture is going to done on the mulberry plants only. Okay, so the laying of eggs is done by the female silk moths. Means thousands of the eggs are lays on a mulberry leaves. So the next process is a caterpillars or the formation of a silkworms. This means after the eggs, after 2-3 days, that eggs are going to convert it into a caterpillars. Okay, that process is called as a larva stage. In this larva stage, these caterpillars or the silkworms, they spin the silk fibers, which is a useful form of the silk. Okay, this is the larva stage of the silk moth, that we call it as a caterpillars or the silkworms. After this larva stage, they will formation of a pupa. What is this pupa means? These caterpillars, they are going to convert their body from the exposure to a air and a sunlight. From those air and the sunlight, they made a protective layer, that we call it as a cocoon. This cocoon is a protective layer for the caterpillars from the exposure to sun and the air, that we call it as a cocoon. In this only of some days there will be a formation of silk fibers on this cocoon stage, and this cocoon stage is converted to a useful form of the silk, and whatever the proteins or the some useful form of the proteins that will be going to produce on this cocoon, and which is a useful form of the silk fiber. Okay, this will be all done in what in which plant? As I told, it will be done on the mulberry plants. Okay, and after this, the formation of the mulberry silk. Okay, this is the main silk that we are going to observe in our country. Students, before completion of this process, I forgot to tell that in the pupa stage what happens, there is a formation of the protective layer for what? To exposure to a sun and air. So in that pupa process what happens, this silkworm turns its heads or it swings, okay, swings its heads to all the sides, so that it will made to a certain size, which will be going to turn it into a silk moth. Okay, for example, this is an egg and it will be converted into a what? Silk moth. Okay, okay, silkworm or a caterpillars. These caterpillars made it into a cocoons. If this is a cocoon, this is a protective layer for the caterpillars. Here there will be a presence of caterpillars. Here from this cocoons only, it is the useful form of the silk fiber, and this silkworm going to swing its head all the sides for what? make it into a useful form of the silk fiber. Okay, and after that there will be a silk moth. Okay, there will be a silk moth is obtained in the fourth step. Okay, this is how the sericulture or the life history of the silkworm is happened. So students, please we remember that after this pupa stage, there will be this silkworm or the what caterpillar is there, that will be formed into a silk moth. If we are going to not use this cocoon, that is cocoon is nothing but the silk fiber. Okay, so if we are not use the silk fiber, that will be formed into a silk moth. Okay, but in the third stage only, the people going to collect the silk fibers here in the cocoon stage only. Okay, in this silk fibers, they are going to convert it into a silk yarn. Yarn means thread. So this silk thread is used for the many other purposes, like making of a silk saree, silk punches, or silk dresses, whatever they are going to use from this third stage only. Silk silk fibers, there is a cocoon stage. Okay, as I told, there are in our country approximately 26 types of silk sarees are present. So what are those? When you do the homework, you are going to collect that. Okay, the main is as you heard that Kanchipuram silk sarees, Mysore silk sarees. Okay, they are the example for the types of silk sarees. So in our country, what are the main states they are going to yield this silk? Okay, as we proudly say that Karnataka is the most of producing silk in our country. Agriculture is the main occupation for the states of the Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Assam, West Bengal, Jharkhand, and Tamil Nadu. Okay, so the most highest producing of a silk in our country is Karnataka. It approximately produces 6,000 of metric tons. 6,000 metric tons of silks are going to produce in our states. Students, I told the Karnataka will produce 6,000 metric tons. Not, it produces 9,570 metric tons of silk in our Karnataka. Okay, it produces 9.57 metric tons of silks, and first is the Karnataka and then followed by Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh will produce 6,000 or 5.97 metric tons of silk produced by the Andhra Pradesh, and then followed by the Assam, that is 3.81 metric tons of silk, and next one is Jharkhand. It will produce 2.63 metric tons of silk. Then West Bengal will produce 2.57 metric tons, and next one is Tamil Nadu, that will produce 1.9 metric tons of silk in our country. Okay, these are the main silks they are going to produce the silk. Okay, this is the old occupation of our people. So in the next class I am going to tell you how this silk fiber going to make it into a useful form of the silk. Okay, you all write this in your notes, and I will continue in the next class. Thank you.